Hello and welcome in to the Sorare Data Show. I am Andrew Laird. You can find me as Lairdinho on Sorare. Today, talking about giant mistakes or process over results or how I just didn't win anything this game week. Thank you to everybody for coming in to this Monday limited time only. Intero Z, Ryan Walter, and Fraxi on the podium. Congratulations to you three. Intero Z said, I won't be here for the live show, but said I'd drop a like and a hello now before listening back after work. Thank you for doing that. That's much appreciated. Ryan says, I feel attacked by the title, which is not so special. That's the title. And Fraxi said the prices of neon cards were too good to not sell them, hence why the special was not so special after all. So we'll get into that, Fraxi. We'll get into that. Don't you worry. Hatlingen said, Enzo can win me some serious money today in the neon comp. So for me, it could be really special. Pico Player said, money is king. Ben Johnson, I've been buzzing for the Trabenspor game in an hour all day. Got a 4-man in-season stack, and the differential I used got 100. That's awesome. Trabenspor are heavy favorites. The goalkeeper has had a baby and will DNP. That, what are we doing? What are we doing? Congrats on the sex to the Trabenspor goalkeeper. Tuggy, what's up? Mikey Bastin, Stefan. Mike says better intro music. I like that one more when I heard it the first time, which was sometime last week, than just now. But it is, I mean, if you were looking for more like hyped up vibes, I think that one's a lot more. Yvonne, what's up? Or Ivan, I'm not sure. Ali Reza, my teams are dead already. Yatza, what's up? And Agent Cooper, the only thing that is special is a Ren Rare collection. If only that were true. Zyler said, before you go on topic, what did you make of the burn mechanism they mentioned for the new common card idea they shared? I saw that it was about common cards, and then I basically stopped paying attention. There's only so much attention I have for common cards. And yeah, I don't know. Yvonne or Ivan doesn't matter. I mean, it matters. It matters. Featuremans, 4 p.m. UK is a great time for a show, perfect to see out the working day. So I wasn't really sure. Oh, and Lionel, howdy, catching a live stream after so long. Thanks for coming in. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, Harry Trade's in the house too. Sorry, Harry, skip right over you. Agent Cooper, I missed the old music. The old music reminded me of the Succession TV series theme music. Yeah, music's tough. Music's tough. But on this topic from Featuremans here, 4 p.m. UK, great time to end the show. So I guess 5 o'clock is the end of the workday for people there, which, whatever. That's pretty common. But I wasn't sure if people liked it like when work is over or, to see out the end of the workday. I don't know. Start times are always weird for me because I would love to be consistent every time. But the reason I'm not is, well, I'm not going to give myself too much credit here that it's because I want like different people to be able to have the opportunity to come into the live stream. Because if that was the case, then I would kind of vary it more. Usually it's just based on my own schedule for the day or my guests. So yeah, there's that. Gully FC, hello all from Toronto. What's up, Gully? Tyler B said PSG giving Hakimi an entire week off before City is wild. Yeah, that Hakimi one was tough. Shout out to Toby. We'll see. Mike Basson, is this a force me to keep pants on for the first hour? Mike, I mean, finishing out the workday with pants or without pants is not my call. Simple as that. You do you. I mean, maybe it was pants off and then the show starts and then it's like pants on. So like, who knows? Anyway, I'm going to talk about the specialist, excuse me, that happened this past week. Not this past week, this past weekend, current game week, whatever it is. The amount of tinkering that I did before the deadline was astonishing. I hadn't done that in a very long time. And part of that was more based on off of my rare lineups than my limited ones. However, I did kind of make this conscious decision while I was making my lineups to really just focus on the specials. instead of in season, challenger, and contender, which is what I had been doing. And so the way that I build lineups, essentially um, I do them at least a week ahead of time, if not 2 weeks. And update here from Ben Johnson: the Travanspor goalie's wife gave birth 53 minutes ago, but he is playing. Wow. Wow. How about that? Red or Dead 69, what's up? Tyler said not having to make captain choices was the best part of the game week in the specials. I don't mind the captain decisions that much. But anyway, the way that the way that I've been trying to play is prioritizing challenger in season, contender in season, now that Liga MX is back, and getting to Division 1 so that I can compete for the best prizes. And I'm not in Division 1 in any of them. Am I in Division 1 in contender? No, I'm not. I have a couple of Division 2s, some Division 3s. I think one of my Division 3s was actually relegated this past game week. And so it just got a little messy. That's all it is. And not Lionel Messi. But the way that I wanted to go about it, was essentially like focus on those. But the specialist competitions for this game week changed my strategy. And I don't know if this is going to be something that happens often, but I kind of wanted to talk about what the things that I thought about in terms of my decision-making process of where to enter my lineups. And I think what I missed in my analysis was the downside. And it was dumb of me to do that, straight up. And so the way that I started to, so I built my lineups. I decided to use basically contender cards in the regular in-season specialist. And so I think there's a kind of a common strategy of people using contender cards in like global competition, because they're generally like pretty good scorers and they're cheaper. And so why not? But once the prize pools came out for both specialist and the neon Christmas specialist, it was like, man, I really should just put my best cards in there. And my best cards, what I thought for the game week, were not just contender cards. So now I was like, all right, I was going to essentially sacrifice my best contender cards in specialist, and therefore essentially lose a week of competing to get into Division 1. But then I decided to do a Challenger 2, which also then delayed my ability to compete there. The problem is that I made the mistake of essentially just filling those lineups in with what I had left. And it's like, oh, now I'm actually trying to play like leftovers in Division 2 and even Division 3. And you can get punished doing that because, and I started to treat them as throwaways. And to be completely honest, I treat limited classic as total throwaway lineups. And because I had taken my top cards from Challenger and Contender and put them into the two specialist competitions, all of a sudden my in-season lineups became the throwaway. And it wasn't until like the results started to come back in that I was like, oh, I messed this one up. So I actually want to go back a few weeks to when they announced this Neon Christmas special. It was during, the single days. It might have been the day where, oh, I'm sorry, it was the day before the Challenger buy one, get one, whatever the other one was, 50% at a special edition, or 50% of another card, whatever it was. So I looked ahead to the game week 45, schedule. And I was like, oh, all right, Benfica have a really good schedule. Bruges, I forget who Benfica even played. Bruges were playing Beerschot at home. And I was like, all right, let's see what I can do. So I bought an Angel Di Maria, and I was going to buy a Van Aken. but I decided to buy Jashari instead. Arden Jashari. And I was like, those two will be my first ones. And then I also bought a Florian Kleinhansel. And I knew you needed 5 neon Christmas cards. But those were like the 3 I was going to get early. And I was like, I can get the other ones later. It's not a big deal. And I believe these were before I bought the Genk, Ghent, and let's check that ourselves, with each other. So the Genk, Ghent, and Utrecht collections that I made from the buy one get one. Where am I going here? From the buy one get one, were all neon Christmas because it was during the special. But I essentially realized the gigantic, what I thought was an advantage at the time and turned out to be quite detrimental, or at least was detrimental before the game week started. But using the Ghent collection, for example, like I bought all of the kind of the cheapest Ghent guys. I started with Fortuna, Noah Fadiga, Archie Brown. And so I bought all of these from the primary market, mostly just instant buys. In fact, I think they were all instant buys. And my plan was like, instead of buying the instant buy of guys like Davy Rofe and Tsuyushi Watanabe, and who did I also do it for? Omri Gandelman. I was going to buy those just from the secondary market because they were already, most likely they already had XP, and every card that I bought was going to be 0%. And they were going to get the 5% collection bonus anyway. So they were actually going to be more powerful right away. I was buying cards. I was basically acquiring them at, let's call it 12, 13%. Because even after the transfer, like my Davy Rofe here card has 13%, Watanabe has 13%, and my other ones, when I bought them right away, were going to be less. And I was like, that's good. That I think I did this right. Until obviously this neon Christmas special comes along, and basically all of the expensive cards from these collections that I bought on the secondary market because they were going to be cheaper were now ineligible for the neon Christmas special. So I lost out on Rofe. I lost out on Watanabe. For the Genk collection, I had Jarny Stukers from a while ago. I had Mike Penders from a while ago. As you see, I have all of these Genk neon Christmas cards, and they're not neon Christmas versions. Smets, Kayembe, Karetsas was going to start, and like I couldn't use any of these cards in the neon Christmas special. The Utrecht ones I was able to get in because the only card that I had that was not neon Christmas from the Utrecht collection was Sofiane El Kourani, and of course they were against AZ, I think, this weekend. And of course, he had a 90, and I couldn't play him in the neon Christmas special either. And so my strategy was like, oh yeah, I'll play these guys in the neon Christmas. And then all of a sudden I was like short players. And I was like, oh, I messed this. I messed this up. So if you see here, because of the Utrecht situation, it was unclear if Barkas was going to start. Vasilis Barkas, but he had an L15 under 30 or under 45. But if he didn't start, there was Brouwer, who's the backup, and his L15 is 64. So not only was could I not use like the goalkeeper spot for the under L15 of 45 player, but Brouwer now would have taken up a 60 spot, one of two. And it was like, that's bad. It ended up being Barkas ended up starting, but I still needed another goalie because Rofe, who I bought, was ineligible, and Van Krombrugge or Penders were both ineligible for the Neon Christmas special, as you see this Van Krombrugge card right here. So I went out and bought Nordine Bakker. Almere City are dreadful, but they were playing against Heracles at home, and then they play at home against Walwick, and I was like, all right, that's fine. And of course, they lost 2-0. And everyone told me to buy Regis Gertner, who I did not buy, and he got a clean sheet. And I actually considered, like, there was absolutely a thought in my mind of, do I just place a bet somewhere, Amiens win to 0, or just Bastia under half a goal, and I forgot about it. And of course that would have gotten me there. So Bruges also played against Genk in the Belgian Cup midweek. They play Champions League this coming midweek. And so there was expected to be a lot of rotation at the weekend against Beerschot. And that came to fruition. Luckily, I don't know. But I had Jashari. So Di Maria, sorry, to go back, Di Maria was hurt for this weekend. So he couldn't play. So like, that's one of the 3 cards I bought for the Neon Christmas special a month ago out. Then Bruges are going to rotate heavily. Jashari gets rotated or is expected to be rotated. So I'm like, all right, I went out and bought Hans van Aken, who was pretty confident that he would start. He did. He scored 100. Didn't matter for my lineup, at least. But then it was like 2 players that I wasn't going to be able to use. And then Klein Hansel, the 3rd player I bought for the Neon Christmas special a month ago, lost his spot. Turns out he was expected to be back in. He did play this weekend. So I at least had that, but I didn't even end up using him. So when you go to my lineup builder for the weekend, essentially I made these 2 lineups for the Neon Christmas special. So I had Nordin Bakker, Torun, I don't know, from Ghent, Van Aken, Jacob Briam against Groningen, great matchup, and then Delors Sniper from Ghent. So I had the 2 Ghent guys. Bakker was my L15 of 45, below L15 of 45, and then 2 guys from my Ghent collection. And then my other one was Barkas, who was thankfully starting. Archibald Brown, Ghent, home against Heracles. I had Joshua Kitolano from Sparta, who were home against, is that Walwick or is that? Yeah, Walwick. And then I actually bought that Davidashvili a month ago as well, just for this, home against Nantes, and then Zakaria El Awadi. So that was my Neon Christmas special lineups. And I thought these were really good. And Ben Johnson said, on paper, these are great teams, which they were until I saw everybody were like, oh, I'm projected for 2nd. I'm projected for 14th. And I was projected for like 398th and 955th, which would have been enough for cash, to be honest. But also, like, Ben, this is going to be a topic for another time because I'm not going to get into it today. But fantasy sports is paper. We play on paper. Like, on paper, these are good. That's all we can do. Yeah, that's all we can do. So anyway, but we also had the regular specialist. And this is where this lineup is the prime example of how it all goes wrong. So I used Davy Rofe and Tsuyoshi Watanabe from Ghent. Defensive stack, home against Charleroi, no problem. Fernando Goriaran from Tigres, home against Mazatlan. His teammate, Nicolas Ibanez, who had an L15 of 38, so I used him as a forward. And then Jose Paradella from Necaxa, who were home against Chivas. Ben says, what's the story behind the Tigres guys? And they're part of this story, so don't you worry. So I made that lineup, and then my other one was Nick Olai, who I thought maybe I will finally win something with that card that I bought months ago. Javier Aquino and Juan Brunetta from Tigres. Again, huge favorites at home against Mazatlan. I use my Jarny Stukers here away to Mechelen, and then Augustin Palavicino from Necaxa. So the important thing about that lineup, essentially, is my initial build for Contender. I had 2 of them. Was a Tigres stack and a Necaxa stack. And so I had Palavicino and Paradella in the same lineup, along with Ezekiel Unsane, Luis Montez, one of their center backs, and I forget who the forward was. I think I definitely had Daniele Verde at first. Turned out he wasn't going to start. And that's sort of where it starts to crumble, honestly. And then I had a full Tigres stack of Nahuel Guzman, Aquino, Brunetta, Goriaran, and I forget who the forward was. It wasn't Ibanez because Liga MX forwards are terrible. So that's what I was going to play in Contender in season Division 2, and Challenger in season Division 2. I'm sorry. Those were 2 in the Tigres and Necaxa were Division 2 and Division 3 Contender in season. And then I had this Ghent stack, and I was going to play the Genk stack in Challenger. or maybe even mix them a little bit. I wasn't really sure. But instead, it just kind of like it just fell apart. And I think part of this is that I spent so long hemming and hawing about what to do with these specialist lineups, including this neon, like these 4 lineups. I just like went back and forth, and I just like was never. Once I started doing this, it was like, okay. Ben said the Brunetta forward is sneakily a good card, really unlocks a Tigre stack. Like it does. To quote Sean Newsham, it does and it doesn't, because I have one in rare, and I was going to buy one in limited. But anyway, we'll get to those guys in a second. So for Challenger, what I ended up playing was this defensive stack of Penders and Smets, my boy Haspelat, who was like away to Antwerp, which is not a great matchup, Camille Negley, which is a classic card against Walwick, and then Joris Kayembe as part of this like Genk stack. D2, I have this old Nico Mantle card. He had a terrible matchup, but I basically didn't have the goalies because I use Penders here, and obviously he plays instead of Hendrik van Kronbruch, and then I played Rofe in the other lineup in specialist. But then I had a Sparta stack here, Eerdhuizen, Pelly Clement, Toby Laridison, and then here's the El Korani card that I had that, again, is not a Neon special. I considered playing him in this lineup, in one of these non-Neon specialists, but like I basically thought that Aquino, Brunetta, Pallavicino, Watanabe, Gorioran, and Paradella were all better, given that he was playing at home against AZ. And then contender in season D3. That's right. I didn't have a contender D2. I got relegated last week, which was just infuriating because of Tigres. Guzman had like an error led to goal. And then I had Jesus Angulo, who was ruled out after the game week started. And so they got relegated from Division 2. So now I'm in Division 3. Guzman, Diego Reyes, who's one of their center backs, Jesus Garza, who's a midfielder card, but starts at left back for in Angulo's spot. And then I played a classic card of Branimir Hergota, and then this Casper Jander card that I have I won earlier, which again is like kind of defeats the purpose of this contender of like doing this limited time only because I'm playing a rare card there. I was actually going to play him in a different lineup, in a rare lineup, and buy a Jander limited, but I didn't. And that's what I ran. And then contender Division 3, here's the Necaxa stack. I had Unsane, defensive stack, Unsane and Montez. Like, it's not the ideal matchup, but home against Chivas isn't like that bad. And then I just like threw what I had left, which was Diego Lainez, who's really awful, Nicolas Ibanez, rare, who's awful. And then here's the Kleinhansel card I bought for the Neon Christmas special, which I didn't even end up using. And then as you can see here, like this is how I care about contender classic. Like I just throw these in just for fun. I don't even want to talk about them. So that was my process going in. My results are atrocious, and it's really bad. So I'm apparently winning $10 here for finishing 900. I'm not even finished. Who knows where I'll finish with this? But backer Torun, I wish I knew how to say this guy's name. Torun Ariga. I don't think that's right. Anyway, Vanaken, Delors Sniper, and Briam. Jacob Briam finally slowing down in like one of the best matchups of the season, scoring 46. Delors Sniper at 48. Vanaken with 100, and it just like wasn't good. 305 points got me $10, so that's not so bad. And then this the second Neon Christmas one, Barkis, Archie Brown, Ghent draw, 1-1. Brown finishes with 6.6 points thanks to a negative 28 AA, 4 fouls, and a yellow card. So there's minus 11 right there. Only the 1 goal conceded, and then 23 possessions lost and 12 duels lost. He had a net negative 10 duels. And 10 penalty area entries to help make it better. So that was obviously really bad and an unfortunate finish. Kitolano, Elouadi got a goal. Davidashvili was just non-existent. against which is, yeah, that was tilting. And then where was sorry, hold on. Neon in-season specialist. Here we go. So the other one, Olai conceded very early just to stick it into our faces here. Aquino had another great game, 65, all on AA. Pallavicino disappointing 41 in a 3-2 win. Like, this is what's Necaxa win 3-2. Paradella had 81, which was great, but Pallavicino 40. Disappointing. Brunetta has been just awful to start the season. 37 points for the midfielder card. I don't even know what the forward card is. And then Stoikers had an assist. So I'm 29 points away from $3. And that one actually outscored my other one. Watanabe, this was the worst, is that Watanabe got the error led to goal, which obviously then ruined the clean sheet for Davy Rofe. Obviously, it ruined it for Watanabe and Brown as well. But like, he still had 24 AA, which is that's like the most tilting part of all of it. And so, like, what could have been Goriran, poor game, Tigres, again, like, Tigres win 2-1. The one is quite annoying. And was there a where was the other goal? Here's one goal. Is there an own goal? Oh, there was an own goal. Okay. Oh, here it is. Yeah, so an own goal. So Guzman had the clean sheet until the 83rd minute, which meant obviously Guzman had it and Aquino had it and Reyes had it, and then it's just gone. So there's Paradella with the assist. So, like, there is a good lineup here somewhere. It's clearly, like, just looking at these two, it's like Olai, Aquino, Paradella, Stoikers, and then Goriran, I guess. Like, not a bad lineup. That probably wins something. But obviously it didn't end up winning anything. And then for Contender Division 3, Alan Montez for Necaxa didn't play. And I captained him here, which I'm not usually this bad at captains, but I would say if you have a player who ends up scoring 0, that's a bad captain. And so Unsane was terrible. Kleinhansel terrible. Linez, everybody. This line scored 146 points and will be in Division 4 next week. And obviously, I probably play Montez anyway. Not probably. I definitely play Montez anyway. If there was no specialist here, I play Unsane, Montez, Paradella, Pallavicino. Paradella probably gets me out of relegation. Let's see how far away I was. 53 points. And Paradella does that on Linez by himself. And Goriran, I think, had the same as Kleinhansel, basically. Not Goriran, Pallavicino. But anyway, that one's relegated. And yeah, I had this Necaxa one with Montez and Rare got relegated as well. So that one gets relegated. This one was fine. 18 points to a reward, to a box, 49 points to any sort of cash, which, like, not a great lineup. Whatever. It is what it is. And then in Challenger, Kayembe didn't play. I still don't know why, if anybody remembers. I don't think that one got relegated. Did it? No. So thankfully, like, Smets played 77 from Smets. Negli got a goal. Haspelat was just his regular self. And then Genk obviously conceded. I actually didn't even see when that was. I don't think I got the notification that Penders had a clean sheet anyway. No. Oh, 8th minute. Yeah, so that dream was dead right away, which is nice. And Karetzis, I don't remember where I played him. Training. Great. Good job, Andrew. Actually, I wonder if... Here he is. Look at that. Just helping Doku and Angulo. All that extra XP. God, Doku. Unbelievable. Anyway, so where did those Challenger ones go? Contender, Chow. And then this one, Pelly Clement didn't play. It's another Did that one get relegated? Somehow not. Wow. Another captain that DNP'd. And so basically, what I was looking at in terms of whether I should enter or not was essentially where I was. Sorry, I'm like scrolling around everywhere here. But I looked at this and it was like, if I don't want the whole leaderboard, but basically the top spot that I could win, like the most I could win in Challenger, was $320. And so I looked at that and I was like, all right. And obviously I want to get promoted, but the Neon Christmas Special top prize was $3,000. Shout out So Rare Down Under. I hope that stays. Man, that was a great lineup. And So Rare Down Under also bought, I believe, Di Maria for this lineup, for this special. And oh man, I almost bought Gunok too. Beautiful, beautiful lineup. But basically, the prizes were just too big for me to ignore them. And let's see, top prize $1,000 for the regular specialist. And so, not that I build my lineups expecting to win first place, but if I had the opportunity to win $300 or $3,000, I'm going to take my chance at the 3,000. And obviously, the payout was way longer for both specialists. I think Neon was 3,000. Were both of them 3,000? Meaning paid out to 3,000? No, I think it was just the Neon. But anyway, that's why I was like, I have to go after this one. And the Neon one actually didn't cause as many issues for me as the regular specialist one, because none of my Liga MX cards were Christmas, because they don't have Neon Christmas cards. So it was almost like the decision to enter the regular specialist competition meant like, yeah, I'm going to make my contender cards make my contender cards. What was I going to say there? I was going to basically sacrifice my contender lineups for the specialist. And the weird thing that I kept going back to was less about the prizes in terms of like missing out. Like, I was definitely going to want to win $3,000 versus, I mean, contender D3. God knows what the prize pool was for that. Let's see, contender D3 in season top prize was $60. So it was like, no problem there. Of course, I'm going to play for the 3,000. But and so that part was fine. Like, I was okay with that. But the issue that I kept like sort of coming back to was again, I thought I had like good lineups. Like, I thought on paper they were good enough. Maybe not to win. The Necaxa lineup, obviously, or matchup, obviously not as good as the Tigres one. But the thing that I kept coming back to was less about, oh, if I finish first, but more like I'm losing a week to move up a division. And given that we only have like a certain number of weeks that we can use these cards in season, there's like a pressure to use them, to get the most out of them. Now, obviously, from a reward perspective, that was to play specialist. Like, the point is not to use the cards as much as possible. It's to win as much as possible with your cards. And yet I still, like, in the back of my head was like, man, I'm going to have to like wait another week. And then I put in a lineup that's like essentially leftovers and it gets relegated. So I got like, not like doubly punished, but basically doubly punished, because not only did I lose out on the possibility of a promotion by playing lesser cards, I actually got punished by getting relegated. Mike said, you shot your shots this time, you missed. Next time, who knows? So would you have done it differently next time? I don't think so. I think what I did is I think I did it right. What I think I may not have done right is the secondary lineups, the lineups in Challenger and in Contender that I put in. And maybe it was to a lesser extent Challenger, because I feel like my backup cards for Challenger are stronger than my contender ones. But like I like still wanted to like jam in 2 in-season contender lineups, and it just didn't feel optimal. And so that's why I think that's what I would have done differently. Um, yeah, but we'll see. We'll see. Ben says, by the way, Tigers have a double game week for the long game week next weekend. So Ben, I think that's incorrect. And I know that Sorare Data says this, but I think it's because Opta don't have the times right. So um, it looks like they play 2 games in game week 47, but I believe this game is a Tuesday, and they're not going to play Tuesday before the deadline. Let's see, Tigres Tijuana. Yeah. So they literally have the time wrong. So it should be game week. It should be game week 48. So they'll play back-to-back game weeks. Like they'll play 3 straight. They'll play 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52. Oh my God. Guys, look at us. 53. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 consecutive game weeks Tigres play. Let's go. CONCACAF Champions League. You love to see it. Tigres playing Real Esteli. If Quinny was here, I'd ask where this is. Let's find out. Nicaragua. All right. Let's go. That'll be fun. You got to love CONCACAF Champions League. So this is a great question from Yatza. Would you have done it if you had D1s? And I don't know. So I think that the reason I think what I would have done is maybe not even entered Division 1 with my other cards and just left them for a game week. Because the top prize of the specialist ones, it was still so high, and it was almost like it wasn't like guaranteed money, but it was so much easier to win there than in the regular competitions. And so that's what I would have gone. Ben said next game week is long, 24th to the 29th. They're extending it for 1-day game weeks they're doing for Europe. Oh, is that right? I didn't even know that. Mike said, you could have just not entered this week too. So Mike, yes. And I think the flaw in my thinking was that I had like a risk-free entry. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to get relegated, so like I'll just throw it in. And I paid for it. So you're right about this here. Ben Johnson said 24th through the 29th. Is there like a list? This is All-Star, right? Yeah. View all matches. Let's see what we got. Just endlessly scrolling. Peak content here. I don't even know what day we're on. This is Monday. Yeah, see, they have. Wait a minute. Oh, Tuesday. Yeah, there we go. I stand corrected. And that's actually, I guess it's fine. It's a bit disappointing. I actually hate double game weeks with guys that will start. I'd rather, although would contender be open? I don't know. All right. I stand corrected. It's the final round of Euro games in all times. But why are they not listed here? Like, why are the Euro games not here? Obviously, you could play them in All-Star. Or is it that they're all on Wednesday? Maybe that's what it is. Sorry. Ben said they mentioned the long game week in the January calendar, but didn't make a big deal out of it. All right. Yeah, so that's, I guess that changes things a little bit. So that's game week 47. Right. So it's the weekend. So it's next weekend. Let's see, did I make lineups already for this? Oh, I haven't. Let's make some lineups. Why not? We'll do a contender first since I got to get myself out of Division 3 now. Argentina's back. Somebody mentioned new Argentina cards in the Samuele Andrioli, excuse me, with a Michael Jordan avatar. Love that. New Argentina cards. Is that a question, or are you like, oh, they're here? Yeah, so I don't know. But we've got Tigres away to Chivas, who just ruined Necaxa this past game week, and we have Necaxa at Atletico San Luis, which surely is a better matchup. Ben said, "Fingers crossed, my 17.5 Tigres guys do well." Yeah, we're like before anybody brings this up. Yes, we are working on a solution to double game week players and what it means on what it shows in the lineup builder. So Guzman also has Tijuana. So it's Chivas and Tijuana, and then who do Necaxa have? San Luis and Cruz Azul. Cruz Azul, not the great matchup. So we'll just go with our boys. Angulo. Like, who knows? Like, excuse me, Guzman. Who knows about Angulo? Like, I think his spot is locked, despite Jesus Garza scoring 175 combined points in the 2 games that he missed out. But also, I don't really want to chance that, right? And I don't know if we want to do like full stacks here. Like, this is basically what I tend to do with these two lineups. So I have Guzman. I'm going to play Aquino just because it feels safer. Goriran and Brunetta. Ryan said Reynoso apparently wants to go back to Argentina and isn't playing, so Tijuana should be an easy matchup, which means Guzman will have an error led to goal, ruining all hopes and dreams. I mean, that team plays plenty without Reynoso, so it is what it is. And then also a quick tip for anybody who doesn't know this. If you go on the lineup builder and you just click, instead of having to go to one of your next entries, if you just literally click here, so you hit the drop down and then you click contender in season, it just goes to the next one listed. And Ben, I think you're right. Guzman, Pizarro, Aquino, Goriran, and a non-Tigres for that's certainly an option. Let me go back to Unsane. I don't know what's up with Montez. I thought I had I do have an Alexis Pena who's back. Oh, that's a classic card. Ugh. So annoying. Let's see. In season. Oh, he doesn't have in season cards. That's why. It's only been half the season. All right, so we'll see what happens there. Pallavicino and Paradella. Oh, where'd he go? And then theoretically, I could play Reyes with the 2 matchups. And then, yeah, we're back to this whole who else can we play? So I've got Hergoda, Daniele Verde. Oh, did he score off? Man, he's been so good off the bench that it's almost infuriating. I'm talking about Daniele Verde because he's not it's tough to play in that way. My guess is I play Hergoda, who's home against Kaiserslautern, or Facundo Colidio. Actually, I want to play Colidio. No, let me play Hergoda here. Does Pablo Barrera have a double? He's great. I don't know if he's great, but he did score this past weekend. Let's see. That first matchup away to Chivas is not great. And then home against Pachuca, that's not terrible. It's not ideal. But yeah, he's been very good. 2 goals against Pumas isn't expected at all. But anyway, so yeah, it's that one. And then if we do Colidio here, Argentina's back. Here's Colidio. I'm still a Gory-Iran guy. Maybe it's Aquino is the captain. It's just so depressing that these are in Division 3. Let me double check. Let me go back here. Hold on. Contender. Do I have 2 division? So this one's Division 4 now. Division 3. I don't know what my other one is. What did I have? I'm in 3 and 4. Oh, God, that is so frustrating. Are we going to want to enter All-Star this game week? Top 20% win, which isn't really anything. Does anybody remember if there was something in game week 47? Underdog. 5 players, 45 or below. I'm not going to prioritize that despite a star limited being at the top. So yeah, these will have to be the contender lineups. But a Liga MX double game week helps, for sure. Your Baturina has a pretty nice matchup too, although he hasn't been great in a while. I actually won that Baturina card. It might have been out of a box. Or maybe I don't think I crafted it. But yeah, we go back to normal basically for next weekend. And I'm actually quite surprised that I haven't built my lineups already because I just tend to build them ahead of time. So this looks like another big Bruges week. That's not what I wanted. Here we go. All right, so we have Barkas, Utrecht away to Heracles. I just look at it from a goalie perspective. Davy Rofe is away to Leuven. Ghent are underdogs away to Leuven, really? And Genk at home or away to Westerlo. And then Sparta are away to AZ. So my guess is I don't play any of the Sparta guys. And I can't suggest the lineup because we don't have pick scores yet. But let's see. We go Penders. Does anybody know why Kayembe didn't play? Yoris Kayembe? Why he was a sub? They just gave Cuesta an opportunity. I don't know. We have Kollard at home against or away to Groningen. That's not bad. I do love Mats Kollard. And then we can't possibly play Haspelat against the Genk guys, excuse me. So we'll play Vanaken, who we just picked up, which is fun. Stoikers, why not? And I would play Di Maria if I knew he was going to be back, but I have no idea. And I'd play Kayembe if he was going to start. Maybe we just play it safely with Eloati. And we'll captain Hans. I was going to call him Juans, like he's some sort of Spaniard. Anyway, so that's 1. And then this will be Rofe and Watanabe. Sorry, let me get these rare and super rare cards out of the way. I could play Haspelat here. Like Genk are awful defensively. But I'll put in Jashari. I don't even know what's up with Di Maria, like why he missed out. But he looks like the card I would want to play because I don't really have much. Oh, look at Thibaut Summers getting a little green. Anyway, let's see. Oh, O started and was terrible. Big chance missed. Ouch. That hurts. Shout out to Quinny. He was going to play him. But let's play Di Maria here just in case. Just in case. And then why not Mats Kollard? Jashari captain against Kortrijk. And then for the third one, it's just Utrecht at this point, right? So Barkas, this is the benefit of having 3 collections is that you could just kind of mix and match, but play them together where you want. Barkas, El Korani, for sure. There's really nobody else from the Utrecht that I ever consider. And obviously I'm saying that I do not have Brendan Aronson. What's he cost these days? Brendan Aronson. No, Paxton. I do that every time. Paxton Limited floor is $10 basically. I have a rare Aronson, and his Neon Christmas one is, that reminds me of something else I wanted to talk about. So I could pay $10 to get Aronson in this spot, or I just play Haspelot. And then we're back to the forward problem. No, like, actually good forwards. And then, I could play Kayembe or Torunarga. I'll never get that right. Hersovsky, Clint Lehman's away to PSV feels like a bad one. Let's put Delord Sniper in there for now. All right. So that's what we have for next weekend as of now. And this is what I'm just going to keep doing. I'm not going to jump into Champ. I feel like it's a little too late. And it also costs a lot more money. And I'm probably saving up for the Argentina Superliga cards if they ever come out, ever. But the one thing I wanted to talk about that I missed earlier was the price differences on these Neon Christmas cards, and that there was a legitimate premium on those cards, and rightfully so. But it wasn't something that we saw really come to fruition until it was like time to do it. Like, I'm guessing this is the day that I'm not going to go back in the blog, but we were basically looking at Hans Van Aken limited cards selling anywhere between, let's call it 16 and 25 over a little bit of a span at the end of November. And then they announced, I don't know if the November 29th date that probably seems too early so people bought them up, but then it was the Challenger Special or the Neon cards on 12/2. Somebody spent $59.78 on a Hans Van Aken, and we just saw it like go up. And like we knew there was a special. Unless, what is this date? 12/21. Did we know on 12/21 that there was a Neon Christmas special? I assume so. When did that blog come out? I guess we could just check it ourselves. Latest blog. It was the January. Here we go. December 19th is when we found out that there was going to be a Neon Christmas special. Unless they announced it before that. Permanent All-Star Neon Christmas special. Did we know that before? Anyway. So it was the 19th, Neon Christmas special, Hans Van Aken going for like $23. 26. And then the next day, they definitely, this was the one of the buy one, get one, something or other. He gets all the way up to 42. And then, we see some go a little lower. I guess there was always a little bit of a well, not really, actually. You know what the real thing was? People just weren't selling them. Like, I went to buy Van Aken early in the week and like there were none on the market, but like that one was for $20. Here's a secondary market, $16.30 on January 8th. And then by 8 days later, it's $30, doubled. And actually, this one wasn't even a Neon Christmas. Whatever it was, the price was getting pushed up for both of them. I guess because he obviously had this phenomenal matchup coming into the week. But I'm actually a bit surprised that people were paying more for non-neons. But it felt like I was looking at some cards, like that backer card that I bought. And not to say that my buy was good, but like I think I paid double. Like if we look at, now again, he only had value because his L15 was below 45, which it still is. He does have a good matchup this weekend. Actually, backer. Why didn't you guys not tell me to play backer? Do I play him over Barkas, Rofe, or Penders? As he's home against Walwick? Maybe. But anyway, so some of these, yeah, 639 instant buy for his regular card. Looks like somebody got one for 449, a neon Christmas. I paid 718, but then somebody else paid 11. Another person paid 11. Here's 1237, 1050. I really should have just sold. Whoever said they sold all their neon Christmas cards, that was probably the way to do it. But where I was going with that was essentially the trading opportunities were very clear, and yet most of us just missed it. I was probably better off selling a bunch of neon Christmas cards. Of course, they're part of my collection, so like I didn't necessarily. The one I wanted to sell was Di Maria, and just get the hell out of that card. But like I'm a high dot on this Di Maria chart. Where is here it is. So like I'm kind of here in the middle, $22. At some point, someone paid just under 40. This second spike was 32, and you can get one now. I mean, what's the floor? $8. I blew that one. And Jashari was another one that the price like came down, and like there was no run on Jashari because there was an expectation he wasn't going to play, or at least not going to start. And so, yeah, I'm like a high Jashari. $18.48. I paid half of this because of market credits, but still, there's just nothing coming out of that card until this weekend, and then it'll be fine. $5.78. Yep, still nothing from that one. But it'll be interesting if we have any more of these like special edition cards or any sort of special events that you require a certain kind of card. And so whether we see I don't think there's any question that anytime we have some type of weekly special competition where certain cards become more desirable, neon Christmas cards, players with L15s under 45 that have good matchups, like we are going to see a very clear trading opportunity. And it's more like, hey, do you want to trade or do you want to play? Or do you buy both and hope that you get a lot out of it? Mike said, not on all players, as I bought a Vlap on Thursday for not much more than the in-season floor. I like Vlap. He still ran up a little bit. Well, no, I guess that was the expensive one. Yeah. I do wonder how many people even knew like that there was this, like, I think there are a lot of people who buy their cards and they just kind of play and that's it. Ryan said Vlap is way up, but according to this chart, he's been higher. Tom said, will limited time only be expanding into MLS in season at any stage, do you think? So, Tom, I'm very conflicted about MLS in terms of how I want to play it, because I actually have never been a big MLS guy in terms of like the best cards I have or interest, to be honest. And I know like I'm American, so everyone's like, oh, he must love MLS. And I appreciate how much some of my good So Rare friends love MLS. And part of the reason why I'm willing to kind of dive into MLS is because I have essentially like access to people who follow the league a lot. And Ryan, yeah, it's, to be honest, it's the game times are the worst for me. In that, like when I started watching football, it was European football because MLS wasn't even that easy to watch in the US. And it was super easy to watch the Prem or Champions League and everything. And that stuff's on during the day. And so sitting down at 7:30, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock to watch football, it's just not what I do. Like I know it sounds weird, but like watching professional football is like a daytime activity for me. And so the reason why I don't follow MLS that much is I don't pay attention to it that much because the games aren't on when I want to watch football. And so I know that sounds weird because most people are just used to watching sports at night, but it's just not part of my routine. And so the other thing is that I have pretty much stayed away from all of the single league competitions. I don't play Prem really. I don't play La Liga. I don't play Bundesliga. And so it's it's not only a single league competition that I tend not to do. And obviously there are many more players in MLS, so and maybe the parity allows me to play it like I play the other stuff. But so the answer is I don't know. My assumption is I will I will. I don't know if I'll go right away. And I don't have any plan to do what I did with Challenger, like I did with Genk, Ghent, Utrecht, and Sparta, Rotterdam. Of like, let me just build collections and I'll play those because I think it's much harder to do that for MLS. Like, I don't think sorry, I don't think the way to win MLS is to build a collection and just play it, particularly now that it's a single league comp. So it's actually one of these that do you build maybe Miami might be the exception. You want to have like a 5% collection bonus on Messi, but like I don't really want to build a New England Revolution collection up to 5%. And maybe I will change my mind if they do a special like they did for during Christmas, where it was like if you buy one. The one that got me was the 50% special edition cards because it allowed you to get to 5% way faster. And if they do something like that, maybe I would consider it, but I just don't. I don't know. I don't know. Philly Dilly said, I think MLS is built nicely for in season. There's a lot of turnover. Holding cards for 3 or 4 years is tough. Yeah, I think I mean, a lot of leagues are like that. 3 or 4 years is a long time for anybody. So, um, Germ said Seattle is definitely the exception. Easy 7-man rotation for a 5-man stack. I think Seattle is just as easy as Miami, though, or Miami is just as easy as Seattle. Calendar, Alba, Redondo, Messi, Suarez, Busquets, Suarez, Messi, like something like that. So I think it's. I don't know. I don't think it's maybe those two teams, but like I think Montreal will be good, and maybe I think there have been like a few too many people saying that I don't know if like a Montreal collection will be that great. And yeah, Pickleball Academy said Miami will be much more expensive. That's fair. Seattle won't be cheap though. Like I would assume that Miami is the most expensive collection, followed by Seattle. I can't think of any collection that should be even in the discussion with the two of them. Mike said, so you're going J League for the summer instead. I don't know. I don't know. Philly Dilly said Red Bulls, second year for Forsberg plus Lumo and Van Zier. No, I'm no way I'm a do Red Bulls. No, like 0%. Atlanta might have some star power. Also, building a collection around Brad Guzan is yeah, that could be fun. Walter said the Galaxy will be third. People will still pay for Peck and Pooj, even though Pooj is out. Yeah, but like, I think it's yeah, Galaxy are probably third. You're right. Is it McCarthy? Like McCarthy, Zanka, or Mickey Yamane? I don't even know who the midfielder is now. Peck and so like it's just not as easy to. But you're right. Those will be the three. All in on Kashima antlers. Yeah. I know. I was gonna say I know it won't be the K League, but there's like a non-zero chance. The problem is that if I did K League, I'd probably just do Daegu because of Cecilia, and I'll lose to Hoodwink. And I don't even want to compete with Hoodwink because he's significantly more knowledgeable about all of that stuff than I am. So yeah, we'll see. I don't know is the answer. My guess is that in order to play in the summer, like I'll choose MLS over Contender. No, I'll play Argentina. What am I talking about? That's what I'll do. Yeah. River Plate, although we're supposed to get these cards. Do we have so rare licensed clubs? Let's see for ourselves. Oh, whoops, sorry. What are the odds that literally I click on it and the first one is the K-League and Daegu? Anyway, 320 teams, Argentina, River Plate. Yeah. Like I have the only thing holding me back from doing a River Plate collection is the fact that I already have two big collections in rare. I guess my limited one was not that big. So yeah, maybe I'll do River Plate. Maybe I'll do River Plate. We'll see. I have to do something. I'm not going to not play. So yeah, it might just be River Plate instead of MLS, or maybe both. Who knows? We'll see. We got to make some money first. My challenger and contender in season lineups still have 4 months left, and I need to start returning on them. So based on how they do, we'll see how the rest do. Anyway, thank you everybody for coming. Mike said might need a new keeper with Ledesma starting the last friendly. I think Armani started the second one, so don't do that, Mike. Nice try. Anyway, thank you everybody for coming. If you could please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Shout out to Quinny. I'll be back tomorrow with Harry Trades. I don't know what we're going to talk about yet. So yeah, come back for that. Limited time only. Again, if there's anything you guys want me to dive into, I'm happy to do it. I feel like I was hoping to focus more on why I did certain things as opposed to just what I did. So I hope that's helpful for you guys. If it's not helpful, I would appreciate that feedback as well, because I don't want to keep talking and boring you guys if this is something that you don't want to hear about. So please let me know. You can leave a comment in the video below, hit me up on Discord, Twitter. Those are probably the two best things. So anyway, thank you everybody for coming. Good luck on the final day of this game week, and don't forget to go outside.